these two. And as this is not as easy as other things, I have developed a support sheet. This is uploaded in Moodle, and I recommend to have a look at it. It is in case variance analysis for revenues will be part of the exam. I will give you that support sheet because sometimes it's quite confusing to compute sales mix and sales quantity variances. And in the second half of the lecture today, we will even refer to market size and market share variances. So it will be a little bit tricky. So my recommendation is to refer to this support sheet. Also, please refer again to the Excel, what we have used last week for flexible budgeting examples. And the third page is about revenues. So this is the material we need for the next 45 minutes or so. That gets fine. Ah, yes. So let's start with this famous picture. It sounds, it looks familiar because we had that regarding cost variances. So now we concentrate on revenues, and again, in the case a company has similar products, for example, different kind of laptops or different kind of bicycles or whatever. So we start with a static budget variance. This is the variance between the static budget and actuals. And so this is very clear. You can do it. You can compute that product by product and for all products. So no problem. And you can also compute the flexible budget variance. The flexible budget variance assumes a flexible budget. So again, by definition, do you remember what is the flexible budget, Christy?
Yeah, so it's not how it is decided and stays the same for every year, but it changes due to circumstances of which.
Takes into consideration the actual output.
Wonderful. This is the basic assumption. Think what are the costs for the input allowed for the budgeted for the actual output. So always combine the actual output with the budgeted cost parameters. So this is simple in definition, but you need to know. So once you have that flexible budget, the variance between the static budget and the flexible budget is the sales volume variance. The variance between the flexible budget and the actual is called flexible budget variance. Last week, when we spoke about cost, we investigated a little bit more into the flexible budget variance. Two pieces we have investigated. These were efficiency variance and price or rate variance. When it comes to revenues, the flexible budget variance is not particularly interesting for management accountants, as it is just the price variance. There is no efficiency variance, so this is the price variance. But this is where we dive a little bit deeper, the sales volume variance. And when a company has similar products, you can have sales mix variances and sales quantity. So all products sold might be more or less, when it comes to unit, than budgeted, or you could have a different sales mix. And the different sales mix is important when you have products which are differently priced. So higher priced products and lower priced products make a difference, of course, in revenues. And when the sales mix varies, so also the revenues will vary. when it comes to sales quantity, so the question why a company has sold more or less units than budgeted, then there could be two reasons. And this is the market size. So companies moving or working in a dynamic market environment, it's easier to work in a growing market, so market size impacts the revenues, but also market share. So whether you gain or whether you lose market share. So these will be our questions, and I'll start with PowerPoint and we'll move to the Excel. So I would like to recommend you to use the Excel. So it will be a good exercise for you to follow all the computations which are reflected in the presentation. The example is about a language software. They offer 3 different kinds of software, similar products but not identical, and differently priced. So the software is grammar, translation, and composite. And what you see, the selling price is quite different. Grammar, highly priced, 259, let's say euros or dollars, and translation relatively cheap with 87. And you also have different or assumed sales mix. This means 65% of all units sold refer to grammar, 15% to composite, 20% to translation. What else? Total software programs sold in the budget were 4,900. In the actual, total units sold 4,500. So there is a sales quantity variance, by sure. On the other hand, we have a little bit of variances regarding the sales mix. Translation, it was 20 and it is 22% in the actuals. Grammar was 65, is 64% in the actual. And composite, similarly, was 15%, but 14%. Also, prices vary. It's not exactly the same. Apart from composite, prices are slightly different. So keep in mind this basic example. And the question is, what is sales volume variance? What is sales mix variance? And sales quantity variance? Static budget variance is easy. I have included that in the presentation to make it step by step, but similar to, it's very easy to follow. Actual revenues minus static budget revenues. Again, when the budget revenues are higher than actuals, it's an unfavorable variance, and all 3 products have an unfavorable static budget variance. Now, the flexible budget variance assumes the flexible budget. And flexible budget revenues is, again, the actual sales volume, but multiplied with budgeted selling prices. So if you do that for all the products, you will find flexible budget revenues. And I go one step further. The flexible budget variance is the variance between the flexible budget and the actual. So what you see here, again, we have an unfavorable flexible budget variance because flexible budget for all products is higher than actuals. The other piece of static budget variance is the sales volume variance. Sales volume variance is whether you sell more or less of the products and you use the budgeted selling price. So when you look at these products, you have a unfavorable sales volume variance in total. You only have a small positive piece from translation. They have been sold slightly more than budgeted. So my recommendation is go to the Excel now. Oh, sorry, this is already the one with the solution. Let's develop it piece by piece. So here you have the data. You have even some more data as in the PowerPoint. And I have already computed here the very easy static budget variance. Now it's up to you. Just try the flexible budget for the 3 products. I will follow in a second.